Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another movie review, and today we are going to be talking about Hard Boil, which is a movie directed by John Woo and starring chowyunfat, Tony Leung, and Anthony Wong, as the main characters. And John Woo is obviously it's not a new name. Obviously, everybody already know him from the 80s. Especially with A Better Tomorrow, The Killer, and then obviously this movie Hard Boil, which I think many people might consider like a trilogy. Because I feel like I personally view this kind of movie as a trilogy anyway. Even though yes they are unrelated. But they're all starring Cho Yun Fat. Which is amazing actor. In my opinion. And yeah, I think for this movie itself, I really love it, because it has a really serious tone. Like I mean, pretty much like every other two movies, it has a serious tone. But I feel like this one is a bit different than the other two because the main character is a police officer, and John Woo has been criticized by the Hong Kong viewers. I think that he kind of like glorified the Hong Kong triads, with The Killer and A Better Tomorrow. And so that's why in this movie Hard Boiled he decided to make the main character a cop, and I do think it's a good decision. It's kind of like Dirty Harry in a way, even though I never watched Dirty Harry, but I was familiar with his character, because it's so popular. And this one is like, yeah, it's a tough as nail cop that obviously doesn't follow the rules, and if he saw a criminal, he's just gonna shoot them, not even bothering to arrest them or like prosecute them. No, just shoot them dead. And that makes for a really fun movie. And of course, it's a John Woo movie, so we have a lot of gunfights in the movie itself, and the gunfight itself is really good, because it happened for such a long time. Like this movie has a three action sequences, like from the beginning, like there's the tea house fight, I think, or like the tea restaurant fight, you could say that in the opening, and then you got the warehouse, fight, or like gunfight, I guess you could say that gun fu. And then you got the hospital gun fu, which has like, I don't know, like 40 minutes long, which is like super surprising to me, because it's just like it's unexpected, because here's the thing. When the first action sequence start, it was like, yeah, okay, this is good, I expected that, it's a John Woo movie, it's gonna be good. And when the restaurant fight happened, it's like, yeah, this is good, this is fantastic, there is some heartbreaking moment happens, and you got to introduce the Tequila's character that I personally think that is a really great character. I think Cho Yun Fat is such a wonderful actor, to play this type of character, and that's why I care for him. That's why they make the movie so much more fun. And of course after that you got Tony Leung's character named Alan, who is an undercover cop on the Hong Kong triad. And then it's interesting to see his character many emotion throughout the movie. Because obviously he's working undercover, but obviously he has some he has attached feelings to this trials that he's been working on, because I guess we're assuming that Alan has been working on this job for such a long time, so that's why he kind of forget the real life sometimes. And that leads to the interesting theme about the movie, that sometimes when you are doing this kind of job, like undercover, and then obviously when you start shooting people, sometimes you accidentally kill a cop, because Tequila kills a cop in the beginning, and then Alan also kill a cop in the hospital shootout scene. And I actually kind of like that moment, because sometimes when you have this kind of shootout sequences, they tend to get, like, I mean, yeah, they are ridiculous, they have infinite bullets, obviously, but I don't care personally because it's fun. But obviously, it's like there is some moment that they're gonna like shoot one of the guys, because that's like becoming my main concern when I was watching this movie, because like the main character is a cop. The previous two you don't really get that feeling because obviously he's not a cop. He's like a member of a triad. So obviously everyone is gonna that go after the main character is gonna be the bad guy. But this time, since they were a cop, there are other people that are in dangers. Because there are some other people from the police department that obviously goes undercover with Tequila and Alan, on the hospital, and obviously one of them gets shot by Alan, and it was such a heartbreaking moment, and obviously I love the moments where Alan obviously shocked, but Tequila was like convincing him to keep moving on, because I think he said that this is not the first time that he killed a cop, accidentally, and that's really, really messed up, but it makes sense for the scenes, because obviously, like it's gonna be hard to differentiate, between the triads and the cop, because obviously they are undercover, they're not gonna be wearing a uniform, and frankly, there is a several security guards from the hospital that wears their uniforms, and then you just like, oh yeah, they're bad guys. So it's pretty hard to distinguish them, except they are wearing the CID identity. You could say that, and yeah, I love that moment so much. I know it's such a small moments, but I really appreciate that John Woo is like not afraid to show that cops could shoot another cop in this scenario, which is like I think it's pretty realistic in my opinion, and yeah, for the story, I like it, like I said before. And for the gunfight sequences, obviously, I gotta talk about the hospital shootout scene, because that's like the scene that really stood out for me. Which, like the movie, like literally the second half of the movie, literally took place inside of a hospital, which I did not expect, because the thing is that I thought that the hospital is gonna be like, like it's not gonna be like the main final, shootout scene, because I thought it's gonna be like another like, oh, like it's gonna be in the dock again or something like that, or like the place where the trials will fight the cops, like the place that makes sense, and not exactly a hospital. But man, I surprised that the movie spanned like the second half of this movie spending time in the hospital, and they really built the scene a lot, like when Tequila and Alan arrive, his friend also injured, arrive at the hospital, and then they build up the scenes, where they discover that apparently the Trials has some guns in their basements, and then they discover that in order to get to that secret place where the guns were, they have to go to the morgue room, and then eventually discover that there are a secret room there, and then they have to fight this other guy that works for Johnny Wong. I think the guy who plays him is stunt coordinator, like Philip Kwok, that's his name, as Mad Dog, like I heard that Mad Dog's character wasn't supposed to be in this movie. It was supposed to be just Johnny Wong, and then that's it, But I think John Woo realized that Johnny Wong's character, even though Anthony Wong is a great actor to play that character, he's not exactly menacing, and I agree for that, because I found Philip Kwok's character Mad Dog is way more threatening than Anthony Wong. Again, no disrespect to him, but I feel like the Mad Dog is obviously like, yeah, it's crazy, and I'm really glad that he adds the character there, because he adds the stakes, to the intense part of the scenes, but I also like that they don't exactly make Mad Dog and then like really, really ruthless, like sure he is ruthless at certain scenes, but not every single scene, especially in the hospital you see I think two scenes, where you see the Mad Dog was like, okay, like he has boundaries compared to Johnny, because Johnny is like killing everybody, but Mad Dog was like, well, you don't need to kill a patient or the doctors, because obviously, or the nurses, because they don't have anything to do with you, like you hate cops, but there are boundaries, so I actually like that the Mad Dog wasn't exactly like super ruthless, but he has some hearts, he has some boundaries, and he knows his limit, like I mean, like when I'm not gonna kill these patients because they did nothing to me, like they just sick people, obviously that's why they are in a hospital in the first place. So it's like I like the moment where he and Alan is like putting their guns down and then asking the patient to just leave, before Johnny fucks everything up, so yeah, I like that addition to the character. I do think it really create a great action sequences, especially when Alan and the Mad Dog just like shooting across the room, and there's a bunch of glasses, and it's like it all happens in like a few seconds, but it was like a long shot, Like I love that moment so much because it adds so much adrenaline throughout the movie itself, because I mean the entire hospital sequences is adrenaline rush, because it's never end. And there's also a long shot between Tequila and Alan just going through the hospital that lasts for like almost 3 minutes, I think. And it was like, damn, it was amazing, because the efforts going into making this movie is just insane, because I heard that the hospital shootout, John Woo basically shoot the scenes for 40 days, like the entire sequence for the hospital, So it's like, yeah, I cannot, I definitely can see why, because it's like it has so much more layer to the action, and of course to the character. I also like the fact that they have to save a bunch of babies, that it could be goofy at certain points, but I feel like I don't really found them to be a goofy scenes to the point that I actually start feeling really scared for the baby that they're not gonna kill a baby, right? But it's just like they could do it, man. Like, who knows? Maybe John Woo can be extremely cruel and then like he decided to kill a baby. He could have done that, but I'm glad that he didn't. And yeah, I love the scene where Tequila also defending the baby, and try to cheer up the baby. I think it was a nice sequence. But yeah, guys, I guess that's my review and thoughts for Hard Boiled, guys. Again, I think to me this might be the best John Woo movie, among the trilogy. I think A Better Tomorrow might be the weakest one for me. Because I mean, first of all, Chowyunfat is not exactly the main character because the brothers in that movie is the main character, is the main story. He's just a supporter. And then for the killer, I guess the killer might have some better narrative than Hardboiled, but at the same time, I feel like I found myself again watching Hardboiled even more than the killer, because obviously Hardboiled ending is much more lighthearted than the killer, which is like surprised me when I first saw that. So I think maybe the story is better for the killer, but I feel like Hardball is it's just a much more fun movie to watch, especially again the hospital sequence in the end that lasts for a very long time and really well built, from like from stage 1 to like stage, I don't know, 11, when things escalated even more in the last act, it's just amazing, and I think it lasts for like 45 minutes in total, which is surprising to me. Like, damn, dude. And this becomes like the scene that define the movies. It's like, oh yeah, Hardball is like the hospital shootout scene, right? That I feel like that's most people remember from Hardball the movie. Maybe the warehouse also, but it's definitely the hospital. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. What do you guys think about this movie, Hardboiled? Do you guys think this is the best John Woo movie? Yeah, let me know which one is the best one. Like, is it A Better Tomorrow, The Killer, or Hardboiled? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. I like to hear your reason for it. And yeah, I might review The Killer in the future. Who knows? If I feel like I want to review it. But yeah, guys, either way, that's my review. And if you guys enjoyed this review, then well, make sure you guys shoot the shit out of the subscribe and like button. And I hope you guys can stay tuned for more videos in the future, whatever this might be. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye!